Hi Taurus. I'm so excited to be doing this video. I literally rolled out of bed and was like, okay, makeup. Onesie. Velvet crushed onesie. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. That sounds weird, right? Because first I said that I rolled out of bed and now I'm saying that I put like something dressy on and but it's all part of this Taurus energy that I'm experiencing. And I'm so happy to be to be able to share it with you guys. I'm sorry, I've been so relaxed today that I am having a hard time like formulating words. I know that sounds strange, but you know how your muscles get so like soft that even your tongue is like, that's how I feel. But it's so good. I mean, I am really connecting with your energy right now, like to such an insane degree. Like, I don't even feel like myself. I feel like you guys. So let's do it super intuitive. Let's see what comes up. I mean, I know September is going to be a big month for you guys. I know already you guys have started to feel that upswing that we've been talking about for so long. And I know that a lot of you were probably like, she keeps saying it. Nothing's happening. And then boom, all of a sudden, August, right? August is like, what? What happened? Whoa, I didn't think that was going to happen. Remember how I said that something that you maybe gave up on or thought that you had a shot at, and then you were like, no, I don't actually have a shot at that. And that thing might, come back around. So for a lot of you, that is held true. And then there are some of you who are just beginning to see that prospect appearing. So that's very cool. We still have to deal with this retrograde until the 5th, which is annoying. It's an annoying retrograde. Like, it's unnecessary in so many ways from the Taurian point of view, because it's like, are we going to get stuff done, or are we just going to sit around and think about what we should have done? Like, can we please move forward with this? But I do see the benefits of both the eclipse and the retrogrades already working for you, and Saturn going direct working for you, because you did need to, let's say, hook into something from the past and bring it into your future with you. Something that you thought before maybe you couldn't pull into the future with you, but now you're like, no, I can have that and I'm going to have it. It's a good energy for a bull. Like, you don't mind pulling. That's okay. By choice, you don't mind it. You're like, that's fine. Like, I'm not a pack animal, but I will pull the people I love, kind of thing. I dig it. So, I think these cards want me to tell you why I'm all in my Taurus energy right now. Well, I'm 6 days outside of Taurus. That's one thing, you see? So, the Death card and the 8 of Wands. Okay, starting big. Rebirth. Things beginning. Birth. New beginnings. Big new beginnings. We knew it was coming, but now the 8 of Wands is saying it's here. If it hasn't already hit you, you're just about to see it, feel it. And what is it? It's life-changing for you guys, man. So why am I all in my Taurus energy? Because I'm talking to a Taurus, and he's had a near-death experience, so he can very easily astral travel because of that. Like, once that barrier is broken, you can unconsciously do it when you want to be somewhere, because most of the hiccup, or like in Urdu you say jijik, the thing like the hesitation, right? That the spirit has with leaving the body has to do with never having done it or not remembering having done it. And so it just seems so scary. And that's why like people will remember kind of like being at the top of the ceiling of their room or something, and then they don't, and then they get scared and they go back. Most people's astral travel experience is kind of limited to that, right? But in near-death experiences, what happens is that the soul just completely like exits and is like, okay, we're out for whatever reason. And once that, you know, initial jijik or hesitation is broken, then you have this ability to kind of just do it all the time. So I'm talking to someone who's had an experience like that and is a Taurus. And so that protective Taurus energy that you guys have, it like manifests around me, you know, because of how he thinks and how he feels. And I literally spent the day today like hiding behind it just because I couldn't deal today. Like, I am a mutable sign. I am a Gemini. This Virgo retrograde, Mercury retrograde has really been easy for me, even though it should have been very difficult, because I've had this energy to ground me and to hide behind, you know? And it's amazing to me that where most people, most signs really are uncomfortable with the idea of someone like, you know, sheltering behind them or needing them, you guys are like, yeah, no problem, I got you. Very cool. So when you kind of hide behind someone's energy, you know, and we do this when we are into somebody or when we feel afraid and, you know, we trust someone, whatever the circumstances are. This happens between friends, it happens between twins, it happens between lovers. You really do pick up on that person's energy. And like literally all I've done today is like eat and sleep and smoke, and like I'm here by myself. So yeah, that's all I've done, you know. And I'm beginning to see the deep resonating like self-care of it. It was so simple today. Like, I didn't feel well. I felt very vulnerable. A lot of different kinds of people were hitting me up. I just felt very vulnerable. And like literally just texted and was like, I'm going to hide behind your energy, okay? And he was like, come hide, I got you. And I'm like, yes, I need this. I'm going to do this. And what I feel happening for you guys as I bask in this energy is 8 of Cups. I feel, and like, I think this applies very much to me, because what I was just about to say is like, I feel all my old attachments just dying away. Like, I feel myself walking away from so much towards you guys. And I feel like you guys are walking away from so much towards you guys, right? Like, there is a culling process that's going on with every sign. But I feel like Tauruses are so savage when they do it. Like, oh man, when you guys start cutting people off, it's like no warning, no nothing. It's just, that's it. We're doing this. You're done. And the 8 of Cups is a hefty cutting of people off. And I think that when you go through this rebirth process, when you awaken to a new life, new good luck, new prospects, new, financial success, new love, whatever it is, when you have that approaching so quickly like we see here, it makes sense that the speed with which the good things approach are equal to that which has to be left behind. That completely makes sense to me. And you guys know that I like when there's numbers come up in readings, because I feel like they're so poignant, because they're trying to show you the two sides of the thing. And right now, if you are still finding yourself in some old attachments, perhaps, like you don't find yourself in the new like good luck energy yet. You don't feel it yet. That's okay. But I still feel that the Eight of Cups energy has to happen, because without it, perhaps the Eight of Wands energy can't come in. Perhaps the rebirth for you isn't happening because you haven't already culled the necessary amount. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like when a new you is set to emerge, there are old connections that will only see you as the old you, no matter how much you change. And it will always be a bummer. It will always hold you back. It's like being at a high school reunion after you've completely changed as a person and everyone keeps treating you like the person you used to be. You know, that is always a drawback with this kind of enormous gift. This is a gift, right? You're very lucky to have, first of all, Major Arcana first card, but Major Arcana Death first card. That's like, you're ready, it's here. And then Eight of Wands is like, no, you're really ready and it's really here. It's time now. And I understand why the readings have gone the way they've gone. Strength and the Two of Wands. So I understand why the readings have gone the way they've gone, because I think the kind of good thing that we're approaching, like if we take a look at the cards, right? I'm just going to, the good thing that's approaching is so big that if it hadn't been built up to so slowly, I don't know if you could handle this, because I feel like a lot of you are still even going through the process. That's why this is coming up of, you know, making room for the growth. So still, even though we've been talking about this for months and months, there are some of you who are still doing the Taurus fixed energy, moving really, really slow and cutting people off. But like I said, once you guys are completely done, then you are a savage. And I feel like the time is upon you where even if you really don't want to be a savage right now, it's just like the plan is the energy, everything is going to push you to see, like over the course of a few days in the beginning of September and then a couple of days at the end of September, you're going to see things that are going to make you be like, you know what, I don't, like there is a lot here, but either this friend is just not up to scratch anymore, like this friendship is not, you know, it's too, like there's too much being taken from me, or this work relationship is toxic, or this romantic relationship is toxic. Whatever it is, you are making room because this is pushing through. What this reminds me of is how when I was a kid, I had to have my teeth pulled because none of my baby tooth ever got loose. None of them. They just didn't get loose. And so the new teeth were growing out and the old teeth were just hanging on. And it was so painful. Like I cannot, because it's like one thing has got to go for the other to come in. It just has to, you know, that's why this is the 8-8. And ultimately what needed to be done with me is that they needed to pull my teeth out to make room, you know. Yeah. Right. So thanks, Mom, for feeding me Enfamil for like 5 years. But anyway, I digress. So bottom of the deck, High Priestess so far. Next up, we have another Major Arcana, and then we have the Two of Wands. So I really like this. I like that the Arcana are coming up with the Wands. I dig it because I feel like it's just that added energy that you need for everything that you want to do, you know? And since like your time has come where you can like do what you want and get what you want, like why not add some speed and some fire to it? I'm with it. Strength card. So obvious would be a Leo in your life, or the Lion energy manifesting somehow in your life. Either you, I feel like for a lot of you guys, this has to do with what's going on in Leo this month and coming up. You are being given some fire. Fire, fire, fire. You are being given some courage, okay? There's a boldness about the Leo that will really work for you guys this month. You're going to need it, okay? This process is great and it's going to happen no matter what. Like I said, like the new teeth are pushing, right? But to do it successfully and keep your head above water while you're going through this huge change, yes, you need to cut people off and that's cool, but also you need to take some risks. And this is a card of a very bold person, and this is a card of expansion and risk and traveling. And, you know, it's about coming out of the Taurus shell. It's about coming out of the fixed energy, even if it is for short periods of time, but it's those periods of time that make you feel really alive. Right? Like, so I can say to you that I've taken a day in that Taurus energy to recharge, my high priestess self. I've done that and it's great. And I loved it. But you guys can do that whenever you want. Right now, I feel for you guys, that's not what life is about. Right now, life is about major changes happening very, very quickly, and you stepping up to the changes with an enthusiasm and a boldness and a bravery that perhaps couldn't come in and couldn't manifest itself until you do this. It's very positive. It's very positive. And it is in accordance with all the stuff we'll talk about in the extended in terms of astrology and what's going on. We've got equinoxes coming up. This card just keeps wanting to come out, And it makes sense, right? With Saturn, the Capricorn energy, it is in many ways conducive to your own energy. It is synergistic, let's say, to your energy. It can be a very positive factor in your life. However, this is also like, take heed, Taurus. Take heed. I love that you guys kind of show your horns at once so people know what they're dealing with. Sorry. Just be a little bit cautious about your impulses when these things start to go well. I'm not saying don't be yourself, because I know you're reactive and you're going to be yourself and you're going to kind of like say it how it is right away, and I get that. But just temper on the side of nicety, especially this month. Don't give in to the harsher side too much, because it could come off as being not very nice. It can also upset a balance that you're trying to create, if you understand what I'm saying. And if this is a Capricorn, if this is a Leo, like if you are someone who's dealing with either one of these energies, I do feel like it's coming up because you should take a risk. I do. I feel like the people that are around you right now are meant to be around you, and the people that you in your gut know you need to get rid of, you're already getting rid of. So if there is a Capricorn around, I think you should go for it. If it's Capricorn energy that you're feeling and is kind of, permeating your surroundings right now, I get that too. I get that this is in a lot of ways a work month for you guys. Like, sure, love is great and, fun is great, and this rebirth has a lot to do with work as well, but rebirth in general, spiritual rebirth, it's all great. But there is a very earth sign, Capricorn kind of work energy this month where you're going to be making big strides. And the Capricorn card is always, for me, a card of promotion. So part of this death rebirth process for you is figuring out more closely now what it is exactly that you want to do in terms of your career path, in terms of your purpose. And if you've already figured that out, then it's going to really be about making some big strides this month, about putting in some hard work, about focusing and getting stuff like done. But at the same time, I got to tell you, like, if you try to get too much done, you're going to burn out by the end of the month, because there's just going to be a few days where you won't be able to concentrate on anything but sex. I'm just telling you that now. And if you try to push through those days by working through them, you're going to really upset yourself. The Hierophant. The structure, the institution, right? The authority. You will have to deal with it. You will, in terms of work, have to deal with the authorities that be with. You'll have to work with them. You'll be promoted by them. You'll mix energies with them. It's all good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. And they will be also attracted to you because of this risk-taking, brave energy. This energy is going to reinvigorate all aspects of your life. Total rebirth. In fire. Yeah? Let go of the water. Let go of it, please. Oh my God, please. Taurus. Jeez. You see? You see? It's very clear. It's very clear. Forgive me, I'll talk about how I lost my voice in the Gemini reading that I'll do next, because it's kind of funny. Basically, there was a Gemini here for 4 days and 2 Geminis, and yeah, so I lost my voice. But yeah, you can see how the cards want to make it very, very clear that it's all about guiding you on this spiral staircase upward right now. And the only thing you got to do is, on your gut instincts, be reactive and use that gut instincts to leave some stuff behind. This may very well be your own habits. This may be something that you're emotionally attached to about yourself. It doesn't have to be another person. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be something that you know holds you back. Something that you know you do when things start to go well. This could be cups of your own self-sabotage. You understand? Whatever it is, it's getting pushed out. If you try to hang on to it, you're going to be like me, sitting in that dentist office, crying my eyes out because I really didn't want my teeth pulled out, not realizing how much pain and how, like, deformed, God forbid, I'd be if I'd let it happen, right? In that moment, that stuff needed to come out. And yeah, it was terrifying, and it, like, honestly, it wasn't even that painful. It was just psychologically terrifying. You know, the time I spent sitting in the chair imagining what they were going to do was way worse than when he actually did it. Right? So, outcome cards, 10 of Wands, good, very good. King of Wands, all right. 2 of Swords. So, on this journey upward in terms of work, bottom of the deck, Judgment. On this journey upward, right? You do have several, let's say, like video game bosses, you know, authority figures that you bump into, that you have to deal with, that you have to confront or in some way collaborate with, depending on how, you know, chip on the shoulder Taurus you are. What? Am I wrong? So, 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands, again, speaks to that. You know, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this. So 10 of Wands speaks directly to what we were talking about in terms of igniting your career, having the drive and passion and long-term purpose once you figure out, you know, what you're walking towards. And I feel like this month you'll get more of an indication of what you're walking towards. Now, the only problem I see here, the only other quote-unquote negative and not really all that negative card is this 2 of Swords. And why these 3 cards together? Okay, so let's do a little, like, tarot school. I'm going to do some tarot webinars where I'll do, like, 1 card per webinar, right? Because, like, so many people are talking about, like, asking for it. Like, I get it. I get that it's, like, necessary or needed. So, yeah, you know, stay tuned. So why these 3 cards and why in this order? Okay. As you walk this road, one of the things that is necessary to get you walking on this road, one of the things that always one has to do when in the midst of finding one's purpose and beginning the journey, right? there is the scepter of the father. The King of Wands is always the card of the father for me. So there is your journey is heavily influenced here by how this male dominant authority figure, be it a boss or your dad or your grandfather or your brother or your partner, okay, how that person sees you and the reflection you see of yourself in their eyes really does direct these steps. And I feel like the Two of Swords here is about you trying to choose which one of these voices is louder now. Whose reflection is more true and more important? Your own reflection, your reflection of yourself in your own eyes, or the way they see you? You're struggling in terms of moving forward, even though you have all this energy and all this bravery and all this risk-taking kind of like, electricity in the air. You may be hesitating and just taking that first step towards a very prosperous career or prosperous whatever undertaking because you're worried. You're genuinely worried. Your thoughts are very split on how this affects your greater identity. The card of the father is also about identity. It's about your larger vision of yourself in the clan or in the group, or this sort of like patriarchy, right, that the King of Wands represents. But again, let's not lose sight of the fact that this is, after all, a card of wands. So the King of Wands, regardless of what I'm trying to say here, is I think that the Two of Swords is unnecessary, Taurus. I think that the King of Wands will give you the fire and the energy and the acceptance you need no matter what. Especially because as you go through this process, what will emerge in your work and on your journey is something that I think is going to make this person very proud of you. So, or it will end up being financially beneficial, depending on who this person is in your life, okay? Or, will love you more if this is a partner we're talking about. Again, a fire sign partner. So the Two of Swords, if we're talking in terms of work, Taurus, then I feel like this is really your latent insecurity that you're having a hard time letting go of because you've been taking so many L's for the past couple of years that now you can't believe it's going well and you're kind of just getting stuck in your head. Don't do that. You're a fixed sign. It will kill you to loop like that. Don't do it. Talk to someone. Get it out of your system. I know you guys hate doing that. Blow up at somebody who loves you, who's going to like deal with it. And like, I know that's not the healthiest thing in the world, but like, someone who will like forgive you, but like, get it out of your system because this that you're doing, it's unnecessary. Now, if this applies to something other than work, something other than even love, if this applies to a friendship, because I'm getting this like every month now, I'm seeing people commenting on, this doesn't apply to love or, money, but it does apply to a friend I had who treated me this way and this way. So if this applies to a friendship for you, if you feel like that you have a very dominant friend in your life who's kind of standing in the way of the road that you would like to walk and you're having, second thoughts about how to deal with it, I think you should be very clear with them. I think it's really time now for you to say it how it is. Not that you don't always say it how it is, but I think to some people, Taurus, you don't say it how it is. Right? I think some people that are super, super, super important to you, you have a tendency to internalize what you would say to them. And then, you end up kind of turning your horns on yourself. Okay? So, what does it all mean? I just have to like lean over super much to bring the camera back up. I think the way I would like to put this for you in terms of September is just let's talk specifically about your horns. There are people who this month are going to either hide underneath your horns, like next to you, and your horns will protect them, or you're going to go at people with them. I suggest you discern pretty early at the beginning of September which camp people fall into and then treat them accordingly. Because once you've decided that someone is going to be, underneath the protection of your horns, then if they annoy you, just don't blow up at them, because you've already decided that this is someone that's close to you, and it'll hurt you later that you blew up at them. Because there will be some days where you will just feel really, really frustrated because you have all this wand energy, but remember, we're in a retrograde still, right? We've got things that are still shifting and focus and going to be doing this kind of push-pull, and you've got all this fire energy being like, come on, right? So you will feel the need to, here and there, charge, right? So at least the people that are under your horns and close to you, you can't charge at them, right? So they're safe. So discern pretty early in the month who you're going to hold close and who is kind of beginning to get into that category and who's not. And then you can take that 8 of Cups energy and walking away from people and do it as you see fit. Do it throughout the month as people come up and annoy you. Just kind of use your horns to, push them to the side and like pick them up and throw them. If you want to do that, I'm always like trying to get Tauruses to be nice. I'm always like, be nice. And they're always looking at me like, you're a Gemini, you're ruthless, you're telling me to be nice. And I'm like, yes, because you're scary when you're not nice. And they're like, trust me, you're scary when you're not nice. It's a different kind of. Anyway, point being, if you decide early in the month who could get cut and who's not going to get cut, then as things come up through the month, you'll be like, cool. Other than that, you've got so much good luck energy coming towards you in terms of money, but money not just given to you. Money that shows up as work opportunities, work promotions, getting closer to a boss, getting closer to an authority figure, being recognized by someone in a space like that where you're like, hey, yeah, I can see myself going up, up, up. This. Also, this 2 of Swords, you will find, I'm telling you, there's going to be days this month where you are going to loop and loop and loop and loop, and you're going to be like, I really don't want to do anything except like what I was telling you I did today. Like, you're just not going to want to do anything. Towards the end of September, if you can, I would just kind of like block out a day or two where you just eat and sleep. Like, take a weekend for yourself and just eat and sleep and don't do, because it's a lot. And then the lull feels like really low because it's so good and so a lot, and then it's like, oh, and you guys get motion sick, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be on this kind of a seesaw. And of course, that's like my Cancer rising, nurturing, like protective energy, trying to look out for you guys or whatever. Like, I don't like my Taurus to like get uneven like this, right? Because it makes him uncomfortable and it makes him like upset. So like even, keep yourself even. Ask your partners to keep you even. Like, there's going to be days where you're going to feel that drag and you need to be able to reach out without using your horns and be like, yo, pick me up a little bit. You know what I mean? However that manifests. So, you guys, October, it's here. Next month, October. San Francisco. I will be in Oakland first 3 Thursdays. Almost all the tickets are gone. Please check it out. It should be on my website. Readings, I'm doing them, but there is a delay. There is a backup. There are it's there. It's on the website. Please check the scheduling. I think there's like a month wait right now. Please don't quote me on that. Please contact Chris at ambercontarot@gmail.com if you would like to set up a reading or if you want to set up an interview. A lot of people are asking for speaking engagements, interviews, all that sort of stuff. You can talk to Chris about all of that. If you have PR questions, that's been coming up a lot as well. And, digital marketing and all that sort of stuff. My PR person handles all of that. Her name is Mandana Ansari, and I will leave her information below too. She also has a blog called Girl in the Bay, which is really, really cool. Like, she's not just like my tech person and my PR person. She's like my lifestyle person. It's really cool. She's dope. So I'll leave her information as well. I am wearing one of Cynthia's malas. I always wear Cynthia's malas, as you guys know. I have it on my person at all times. The lapis one I wanted to wear today just because I was so in you guys' energy that I couldn't even like, you know, like that. Like I couldn't even. And so I needed like that lapis to be like, come on, let's like connect and so I'll leave. And of course it works, right? And I hang it over my bed when I sleep. I hang all the malas that Cynthia's given me actually over my bed. So I will leave Cynthia's information below as well. I feel like with us coming into winter and with the autumnal equinox upon us, there are a lot of energies out there, and I've just done so well with wearing her stones, and they absorb the right things and they let out the right things, and they keep me so balanced. And I haven't mentioned it for a couple months, so I just wanted to kind of, give her a little shout out, and I'll leave her information below as well. I'm going to do the extended now instead of doing it later, and I'm going to pull cards for the Leo card, the Capricorn card, and the King of Wands, and then we'll do a separate shuffle on just love related, and we'll talk about like in terms of astrology and the eclipses and Saturn going direct and all that. All right, that was fun, right? I love you guys. I'll see you in October.